What's up, everybody? It's Kyle Tim times 10, and we're back with another Anime Association My Hero Vigilantes episode 3. And I have my guest with me today, Destiny Brushes. But before we get into all of that, I need you to click that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you can stay updated on all things anime, and it helps me update you. So today was episode 3, and it starts off kind of awkward, if I'll be honest to you, because it starts off with Knuckle Duster without his mask on. Of course, we already know it's him because we see the scar, and then we see Pop Step appear without anything on, looking like your typical nerd. Honestly, if she didn't have pink hair, I don't think I would have even known that was Pop Step. How do you feel about how it all opened up?
Uh, I don't, I don't really think it was bad. Like I kind of enjoyed how it opened up. One of the things that stuck with me was how he was saying like that we all need to have some, because the whole point of it was to show that they have a completely different life as vigilantes because they're not official heroes, and because they're not official means they're not going to get paid, right? So I
Hmm.
think that that was very interesting. I like that opening as far as that. Also, the pop step thing was just like interesting because of showing that she's uh you know doesn't look like, even though it's not that different, but like it is different enough where you wouldn't recognize it, wouldn't know it's her. So the thing that really kind of like got stuck in my brain was bro saying that his day job. And he's like, wait, Knuckle Duster has a day job? Yo, that
Yeah,
is hilarious to me. I'm just waiting on like the joke for that in my mind of like how what job does Knuckle Duster do?
yeah, that caught me off guard too. I feel like it's gonna be something like working a register at at a grocery store, something very mundane. That's what I feel like. That's what his job's gonna be. I did forget at the very beginning they were talking about vigilantes in his class and how
Mm,
they don't get paid. So that was a nice, bringing it together at the beginning, and then it takes us into Pop Steps concert on the street where we see, she's an underground idol. She has all the fans. And then I can only presume it was a child because that's just kind of what it looks like with the art style and everything.
mm,
So he gets punched, flipped, pushed back. His feelings are hurt. We have Wolverine and Cyclops. They come up and they're talking to him. And then we find out he's used Trigger before, and probably not just once, but plenty of other times because he has the signature black tongue.
mm-hmm.
And we see him turn into an eel just to get a handshake. How do you feel about how that all came off and the events that led up to it? I felt like it was kind of an extreme thing to take Trigger, but I want to know what your thoughts on it is.
I mean, it was super pause because I was like, yo, he turned into an eel and was just leaving white stuff all over the place. I was like, yo, what the? This is like crazy pause. The whole time I was like, yo, pause, bro. Because when I read it in the manga, it animated in it, it's like you just didn't. I know they were like, oh, what's this stuff on us? But seeing it was just crazy. My biggest thing, and I've been super big on this, and I'm so happy about it, is they are censoring Pop Step. Anybody out there is gonna watch this, that's watching it on the live, everything, bro. Before it came out, the biggest thing was her outfit because her outfit looked crazy. It was like she was wearing a string. So that was like crazy, and they censored it. They censored it for the anime, and I'm just like, yes, this is where we need to go going forward. I talked about it today because Tony Stadavici dropped a video saying that basically a joke making fun of mangakas because he's like, bro, what are y'all doing when y'all be making these like he just basically he did an act out of kind of showing and exaggerating how, and probably not exaggerating, but showing like how weird it must be to sit there and like draw this and be like, oh yeah, they're gonna love this. Ugh, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot. I
It
forgot the
does seem like they're taking a little bit more caution with this series about blurring out or
Oh yeah,
not showing too much than what
yeah.
they did in MHA. Of course, MHA had its sus moments, but it does seem like they're really making an effort to make sure like
Yeah, she
we're
looks
going to
nothing.
censor it.
She looks nothing like what she looks in like her outfit is completely changed. Not completely changed, but they pulled the skirt down. That was the biggest thing that was like yes. And then also what is confusing though, I noticed when you said it, and I wouldn't have known if I wasn't paying attention to what they like were saying. Those are all kids. The Wolverine and the Cyclops
Yeah,
knockoff.
they're middle schoolers.
Yeah, they're middle schoolers. So it's like,
Yeah.
what are they, like 11?
Yeah, right? Like they can't be no older than what, 13?
Yeah, they're middle school. She's actually older than all of them.
Yeah,
She's
she's like a senior or something,
yeah, she's
right?
a senior in high school. So like, see, she's older than all of them. So
Mhm.
that it's just weird because they got them looking like grown adults. So you just wouldn't know. It's not really like one of those like strange things. It's just a,
It's the contrast of the age and what they look like cuz you got Wolverine with pork chop sideburns
yeah.
and then you're sitting there and it's like, "Oh yeah, he's only in 7th grade."
Some of these choices you just wonder like why they go with them. That's all. I'm not saying anything crazy about that. It's just like I wonder why they went with that. So I don't feel like it was extreme because this is how like Bowman talked about this. This is how these people are that have these it sounds crazy I say these people. I'm talking about I'm talking about
Don't
the
get us canceled now, man. It's only episode 3 of Vigilantes, man. Don't get discontinued, man.
the I would try. It's hard to tell. The guy. So the people that have para social relationships, I think they call it.
Yeah,
Where
where they have like they're connected to like people online or celebrities
yeah,
that they don't even know where to the point
exactly.
where it's like a delusion type of thing.
Yeah, that's a real thing. Like that's not like a
No,
fake.
yeah, not for sure. That's definitely what's going on with with the whole idol thing because we even see that in real life. We see
It
how
happened to
people
Doma.
act with idols and stuff like that. Well, I'm it happens with streamers and creators, but when you're looking at the idol situation, it's kind of more extreme.
Yeah.
At least over there, it is. So we definitely do get to see all of that. I It happened twice in this episode, but Knuckle Duster just seems to always be in the right spot at the right time. Like he was in front of the cafe, which takes place a little bit later on, but just randomly sitting there reading a newspaper, and then with this, he just randomly pops up the eels there. But he came up with a good idea to stop him, which was to throw the flour on him that caused some type of absorption, so it causes friction. And then after they catch him, they're interrogating, and we find out it might have been in the first episode, but it's being imported from another country and it's not regulated or approved in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it seem like it is approved in different parts of the world.
Uh-huh.
Um, and that strangers are giving it out as well. I know I've said it in a previous one. If it might be connected to AFO, but I'm not too sure anymore. I think it might be like a yakuza type of ordeal, underground syndicate type of ordeal. Uh, but I'm also thinking maybe the drugs coming from like Russia or America or something like that, and it's going to tie in maybe a little bit more with that.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts when you found out that the drug is being imported in?
I actually missed that part. I didn't know. I knew that they were saying that it wasn't from that immediate area, but I didn't know where they were saying, or I didn't catch that part of them saying that. Uh, I I like that there's like, so the episode, just to say it, like, to be like fully transparent, the episode was super boring. The episode,
Really?
I feel like, yeah, I feel like the episode was super boring. I feel like it was super boring. I feel like it was kind of a very laid back, uh, almost like slice of life, daily life of what we actually go through as vigilantes thing.
I can
And
see that.
I feel like it's too early for that. Like, I feel like you had two episodes so far. One was like an establishing episode. One was quick hype, then establishing the episode, then reestablishing who the heroes are. It's a lot of establishing. Like, just go, bro. Like, I feel like they're doing a lot of, and that's actually consistent with the manga. I just think that they should skip some things. They did
Well,
skip some things. I was happy about that they skipped it, because I mean, I can say it now because I know that it's not going to be there. In the manga, they had these villains who basically, what they did was they stole female underwear. Like, that was what they did.
oh,
Yeah. So I
one
was
of them
happy that
type of things that have nothing to do with the
nothing
plot
to
for
do with it.
real.
It
It
was,
just
they were villains. They had this dude's quirk.
hmm
They had Koichi's quirk, the crawler, and they were like sliding. So what they did was they were like, you know how you see in the Olympics the guys that are skating and they're like in line with each other, like right
yeah,
behind.
yeah. I know what you're
Yes,
talking. I can't think of the name of it, but I've seen it before.
they were doing that, where it's like one goes by and flips the skirt, the other one goes by and rips
Oh,
and the other one puts them on. Right? I was like, bro, I was hoping, I was like, please don't animate this. I was like, why is this a thing? Like, I said, what? And then, of course, my boy Knuckle Duster, which is why I rock with him so much, beat the brakes off them. Like, because they were sitting there talking, telling Koichi like why he should like join them because he has the same quirk. And then Pop Step's like, yo, they're weird. Stop listening to them. And he's like, well, everybody has their thing and they should be who they are. And she's like, what are you talking about? They should not be able to have freedom of whatever and blah, blah, blah. And then here comes Knuckle Duster. Mock out. I don't hear none of that. Like,
nah, that's why I like Knuckle Duster is by far my favorite character that's been introduced in the series so far. As far as a new character, obviously there's a lot of familiar faces which we already knew, but yeah, no, Knuckle Duster is he's all out Himothy right now. I'm
mm-hmm,
not. He just gets straight to business. Uh, he's not a slouch at all. Like he's hanging with professional heroes, at least the more lower class ones, right?
mm-hmm,
Uh, but then after all that, we get the girl with the eye patch,
mm-hmm.
which I have questions about because we find out her quirk is like Queen Bee, I believe is what it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
And it seems like the bees live inside of her, which is kind of because they and they're augmented to have trigger inside of them. So obviously she's more of a higher ranking villain in this whole thing than what the toy maker was, and is an actual real lead, which we see with Knuckle Duster knowing about the bees, and obviously they have encountered each other before because when he crushes it, she's like, "Oh, I hate when you do this, old man." So obviously they have some type of connection from previous interactions, and the episode that's how the episode ends. But before all that, we get the appearance of all the heroes. All the heroes show up, take out the artificial villains, and that was a hype moment for me just to see them all come into action. Now, how
Oh man,
prevalent
wasn't
they'll
it?
be, I don't know. Huh?
Wasn't it? Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. It was really cool to see. So I already know you would be hype about the heroes, but I want to know what you think about the girl with the bee quirk and what and how her quirk may operate.
The B quirk thing was cool. I was kind of annoyed because she took off the eye patch and then they didn't show anything. So that was like
Okay.
annoying. Because I was like, then why take the eye patch? She took the eye patch off, I guess to let the bees out. I guess that was the point. The quirk isn't really explained because they're not doing the same thing that they used to do. Like before, they used to do the cards, basically
Yeah.
the character cards.
Queen Bee. And
Yeah,
then this ability, that one of them type of
yeah,
things.
they used
Yeah.
to do that, and basically it was that. Um, and I think the reason why they changed that is because the vibe has changed. It's a darker vibe,
Mm-hmm.
like for the show, and you'll see more and more as it goes on. It's like it's pretty dark. So like the darker vibe of it, I think is why they don't do that. But we'll just see more of it, and we'll find out more about it. I thought that it was just like, whatever. I thought, like I said, it was very, even the end, because I was like, I forgot what I read. So when I saw the villain show up, I said, all right, we about to get going. And we're gonna see what happens because we about to get going because they got all these villains in the streets. And then I forgot that the heroes, the professional heroes came and just cleaned that up real quick.
Yeah.
Every episode, except for the one with it was only 3 episodes, but most of the episodes, 2 out of the 3, have been very wrap up. Like they've been very
Very quick.
no, they've been very like episodic. I don't like episodic. I like
Uh,
where every episode feels like, oh, what's coming next? They don't use cliffhangers, and I feel like they need them.
I can see where that comes from, especially with a lot of series now being more flowing with the cliffhangers and everything. I think this episode kind of left us with maybe not like a bigger cliffhanger or something like that, but knowing that there's an actual person, a part of whatever organization that's going to end up showing. That's the only thing I can think of is she has these bees that's going to trigger something. So is
Yeah,
that going to
they gave us
end
that,
up
so
on
that
any
makes
of
you
that stuff?
interested. But
Huh?
it's just they need that makes you interested. They did give you that, but I feel like give me more. Like when I was talking to Running Joke Mark and he said that, I fully like understood what he was saying when he said, "Bro, this shit feels like give me something that makes me want to watch this season." So that is a small thing that would keep you interested. I just feel like we need more. Like to be honest, that really didn't I didn't I guess I should, right? But I didn't really care that much when I saw that. What I did care about, and maybe this is just what it's going to take to keep me. I mean, they already got me with it, but when I saw the preview for
What
next,
the censorship
no, I saw the preview for next
that
week. No, that's
that's
already.
keeping you coming is the censorship.
Listen, I love that. I love that. That's definitely something that has me applauding the show. But what really got me like super interested was I know because I read it, but seeing what's coming next because of even though you read it, you don't know what they're going to animate next. And
Yeah,
I saw in the coming attractions at the end of the credits, they showed Ingenium and they showed Koichi meeting Ingenium and talking to Ingenium, the older Ingenium. I was like,
yeah.
yes,
I was hyped when I seen Ingenium in the episode itself. I
yeah.
wasn't expecting to see everybody, but talking about the post credit scene, I never watch those.
Oh, I always watch those.
I never do, and it's not necessarily like I'm opposed to like the teaser, right? It's
Yeah.
just it does the teaser really does nothing for me for real.
Mhm.
So I don't really watch it that much. I would, I would ask you what your predictions are, but obviously you know what's kind of coming up ahead. So I
So
want to know what
I'm
type
not.
of
Yeah, no,
huh?
I was going to tell you I'm not that far ahead, so I can still give you some predictions.
All right. So what do you think is going? What are your predictions and what you would like to see within the next few episodes? I guess leading in or ending this arc. I don't know how quick the arcs will be in this series, but what are your like predictions as of right now?
Lady midnight.
That's your
Lady
prediction right there.
Midnight and Lady Midnight. Nah. they gonna think I'm serious. I'm a
Well, then
gooner.
we're going to end it right there. Nah.
They gonna think I'm serious. I'm a gooner, bro. Because I made the post earlier, and somebody was like, "Bro, that's a cartoon character." I was like, "I don't care, Lady Midnight, a freaking Lady Midnight in her prime." What? Nah, but uh, I there's a couple things. So just to let you know, I'm never that far ahead because I only read a chapter.
You're...
I, I only read a chapter a month, right? Because by your
yeah.
what you say, I only read a chapter a month. But I the chapters are brolic. It's like 45 pages. So
Yeah.
when they're covering it, they're literally like right now only on like chapter 3 or chapter 4 of this
Yeah.
super long.
I can only imagine that if they're that long, they're covering only a chapter in episode because that's one of those chapters is about what, like 3 normal chapters.
Yeah. That's why I said it's like because when I was reading a lot of other stuff, it'd be 20 pages. So they're like 45 pages. I don't know if they're gonna calm down. So I'm not that far ahead because of that. So
I don't think so. I think when it was running, it was a monthly release, and
mm,
usually monthly releases are around that
okay.
40 to 50 page mark.
Okay. Yeah. So to get to your point, what I want to see and what I hope to see is what I'm gonna focus on. I hope to see, and y'all don't believe in this probably. Uh, Knuckle Duster versus All Might. Now y'all gonna say that's crazy. That's
That
out of
is crazy.
It's not crazy. This dude, you would say Batman versus Superman would be crazy, and this is literally what that is. But this dude's smart. Like he's tactically
So
smart.
you think he has something that can counter All Might, because All Might pretty much is the One Punch Man of the universe besides
Yeah,
like a handful of people, right?
yeah.
So I just don't see All Might holding back enough to it for it to be a legit fight, unless it ends up being one of them like, I'm just going to test you out type of things, right?
Well, I don't think he's gonna win, and I don't think he's gonna like because this isn't Superman. You're not gonna just unless they pull that out their ass. There is no kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it is what it
And
is.
this is pre injury All Might, I believe.
Exactly. So I mean, he can get a few punches in because my boy Knuckle Duster, bro. Come on, let's just
Nah, I like Knuckle Duster. It's just I don't think I would want to see him versus All Might. It makes sense because he is the All Might of this series, right? So it does make sense, but I don't see what the purpose of that would be.
fan service,
Maybe Endeavor.
fan service, man. That's all it is. That's
Yeah,
all it is. That's
yeah.
just
It
the way
just,
I see it.
I'm about to say something that sounds even crazier because it's everything that happens in MHA, but when it comes to certain stuff like fighting and stuff, it's kind of more rooted in reality, if that makes sense to what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
Uh
yeah. I see what you're saying. You're talking about as far as vigilantes.
yeah, vigilantes and like just the MHA universe in general. So like I see it would be like Superman versus Batman, but like DC is just ridiculous when it comes to that, right? It's just ridiculous because, but I guess like if you're going to do that comparison, then Knuckle Duster, it would be like a fully prepped Batman, like a fully prepped Knuckle Duster could do something to All Might, like knock
Yeah.
him back or something like
I mean,
that.
it's also different because Batman was also rich, and Knuckle Duster is like crashing at Koichi's crib. So it's not the same thing, and I get it. I want to see some type of interaction between them. Maybe bring it back down to more reality. I just want to see some type of interaction between them,
I
and
think it's going to be like an Aizawa, not to interrupt you, but I think it's going to be like an Aizawa situation. He's going to pull up on him and see he's not using a quirk.
they've
But
also kind
there's
of made it look like they're not going to do anything with him because if you notice, he's the only character that they black his eyes out.
who, All Might?
Yeah, they never show his eyes.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, he almost seems like an unlockable character. Like he literally seems like they don't even animate him the same way. It almost looks like there was a certain amount of respect that this mangaka had to bro that he just didn't want to touch him too much. Because you remember it's not
Yeah.
the same mangaka. So it almost seemed like he was like, yo, I'm not gonna.
there's too much of a preset boundary that he has to operate within. So it would make sense. Like, why would All Might be called for some vigilantes for real? But that I think that's going straight into a totally different conversation at that
Yeah.
point in time. Uh, so we'll end it here. Where
Uh-huh.
can the people find you? And what do you got going on?
On Twitch, cause I'm on Twitch all the time now. Basically, Destiny Brushes on absolutely everything. I'm posting. I just posted a long form on Destiny Brushes on YouTube, so that's another place where I'm gonna start putting a lot more stuff up. So just everywhere, Destiny Brushes everywhere. Go Destiny Brushes everywhere, and you'll see me everywhere. And on the association on Mondays.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go check out your. Well, it's Tuesday release. Record Monday, so on Tuesdays you catch him on the association.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But I do gotta check out your YouTube video. But from there, we'll wrap it all the way up. And I was your host, Kyle Tim times 10, and I'll catch you next time. Deuces.
Peace.